welcome to you. This is Ogtv Comprehensive News Package for the day. I am Okpeyemi Adeomi. First, the highlights. Governor Abiodun hails Ogun Deputy Governor at 60. Described are as dependable lieutenants. Governor Makinde promises to apprehend perpetrators behind the attack and killing of 5 forest guards in Oyo. The time is always right to do what is right. Not to forget that you can watch us live on our website on www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, you can check us on this platform: X at Ogun TV, Facebook at Ogun State Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on TikTok at Ogun State Television. And now to the details. A grand 60th birthday ceremony has been held in Abeokuta for Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State. The Grand Mufti Emirate of Ilorin Sheikh, Dr. Sulaiman Farouk Unikijikpa, in a sermon stressed that good parenthood is key to a productive society. Fowora Adesonwo reports that the Deputy Governors of Lagos and Ekiti States were in Abeokuta for the event.
Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, the Ogun State Deputy Governor, is 60 in grand style. Every strata of the society came around to celebrate a woman described as a combination of brilliance, selflessness, and faith. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other prominent politicians, women professionals, and Islamic religious leaders from Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, Delta, Edo, and Kwara also registered their presence. The traditional ruler, including the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotu Aremu Gbadibo, and Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Femoland, and other traditional rulers were also seated to honor the Ogun State indefatigable and amazing deputy governor.
Governance in Nigeria is not easy. The president in America said, the man in the arena, he said, it is easy to criticize. It is easy to say, oh, it can be like this. When you are there, but then say, oh,
Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, and his Ogun State counterpart, Right Honorable Dudaisi Elemide, the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dikweolu, and the Secretary to the Ogun State Government, Tokunbo Talabi, were also in attendance. In his sermon, Mufti of Ilorin, Sheikh Sulaiman Onikijikpa, told parents to train their children, whether boys or girls, for intense care in their old age. Sheikh Onikijikpa described Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele as humble, brilliant, and a team player. This was also the take of the wife of the Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, disclosed that the celebrant was a childhood friend who, while growing up, attended this same Quranic school with her. According to the wife of the governor, Rotimi, as Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele was called in the formative days, was brilliant, full of life and energy.
My darling sister Rotimi, happy birthday. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for how far you have come. I'm happy and I know how far you go by the grace of God.
Obadewale Ajayi, a colleague of the Deputy Governor at the period, speaks.
Deputy Governor and I, we go back a long way, and I'm so happy to see her progress. All we can continue to do is pray for her. Fantastic human being, very brilliant, articulate.
The Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotu Aremu Gbadibo, described Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele as cerebral, well-groomed, and well-behaved. Our colleagues in the cabinet eulogized her as a team player.
At her 60th birthday, she has been a wonderful pillar in this administration. She's giving all her support, morally, spiritually, to His Excellency. They have the joint tickets, and she has really proved that she's Omoluabi to the core.
The Deputy Governor is a forward-thinking female leader, and she's a very intelligent lady, full of wisdom and very calm. And for us female commissioners, she's been an amazing leader and very motherly.
She combines intelligence with good manners. And I think, those are very good rare combinations that can take somebody, far.
Her spouse, Dr. Bodo Idele, says she is an amazing wife. The Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimo Salako Idele, showed appreciation to the people and prayed to continue to dedicate her life to the service of God and humanity.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.
Prayers were said for the celebrant, her family, Ogun State, and Nigeria by clerics from all the 4 divisions of Yewa, Egba, Remo, and Ijebu. Adefowura Adesanwo, Ogtv News.
Wishing the Deputy Governor of Ogun State a happy birthday. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun is congratulated his deputy, Engineer Noimo Salako Oyedele, as she marks her 60th birthday, describing her as an able, dependable lieutenant whose leadership, loyalty, and commitment have been instrumental to the success of his administration. In a congratulatory message, Prince Abiodun said the Deputy Governor has consistently demonstrated rare leadership qualities and made significant contributions to the effective implementation of the administration's Building Our Future Together agenda. He noted that our journey as an accomplished engineer, administrator, and public servant has been marked by excellence, dedication, and outstanding service. According to the Governor, Engineer Salako Oyedele has remained a source of inspiration to women, young professionals, and the people of Ogun State, adding that a wise counsel, diligence, and unwavering commitment to excellence have greatly enhanced the stability and effectiveness of the government. He noted that the milestone of 60 years in office remained a source of inspiration. 60 years offers an opportunity to celebrate a life defined by purposeful leadership and selfless service, praying Almighty Allah to grant the Deputy Governor good health, renewed vigor, and many more fruitful years in service to humanity. Also, congratulating Engineer Salako Oyedele, the Minister for Women Affairs, Ajia Iman Sulaiman Ibrahim, described her as a trailblazer who has consistently lived and led with integrity, vision, and hard work. Similarly, the Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, Chief Mrs. Munisa Diafuye, described our Ogun State counterpart as an Amazon of loyalty, noting that Engineer Salako Oyedele is a dependable political ally whose steadfast support for principle has strengthened governance and leadership cohesion. Other well-wishers include the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Alpha Morgan Bank, Mr. Ade Buraimo, who on behalf of the management and staff of the organization extended warm felicitations to the Deputy Governor. He noted that the celebration goes beyond the number of years attained, but honors a legacy defined by purpose, service, and positive public impact. In a related development, Pa Philip Akintoye Development Foundation, PAPADEF, has joined countless admirers across Ogun State, Nigeria, and beyond to celebrate Engineer Noimo Salako Oyedele, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, as she marks her 60th birthday. In a congratulatory message signed by the Chief Executive Officer of PAPADEF, Comrade Festus Kendi Akintoye, the foundation confirmed that at 60, Her Excellency stands as a beacon of purposeful leadership, moral integrity, and uncommon dedication to public service. She represents the finest ideas of governance anchored in competence, compassion, and character. A seasoned engineer, administrator, and stateswoman, her journey in public service reflects a life wholly devoted to the progress of society and the upliftment of humanity. Since assuming office as the Deputy Governor, Engineer Salako Oyedele has made invaluable contributions to the governance architecture of Ogun State through her oversight roles, policy, engagement, and collaborative leadership. She has helped strengthen institutional effectiveness, promote inclusive development, and support reforms that enhance transparency, accountability, and service delivery. A calm but firm disposition has been instrumental in sustaining stability within government, while her voice continues to champion social development, women empowerment, education, and youth advancement. He noted that beyond the borders of Ogun State, Her Excellency Professional Stature as a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and her participation in national development conversations has earned our respect across Nigeria. She exemplifies the capacity of women and leadership to shape policy, inspire excellence, and contribute meaningfully to nation building. According to him, what truly distinguishes our excellency is not only our achievement, but our humility, dedication, and rare ability to listen. She leads with empathy, values consultation, and approaches governance with a human face. Our accessibility and openness to diverse perspectives have endeared her to colleagues, stakeholders, and the ordinary citizens alike. In an era when leadership is often measured by authority, she demonstrates that true leadership is rooted in understanding, patience, and service. Beyond public service, she is also a loving and supporting spouse, exemplifying partnership, respect, and harmony in her relationship with her husband. She has successfully balanced the demands of high public office with the responsibilities of a family life, setting a powerful example that leadership and strong family values can coexist with dignity and purpose. Moving on, mixed feelings of pain, fear, and hope filled the maternity ward of the General Hospital Ikperu when a 32-year-old woman, Esther Shoaib, gave birth to triplets. An indigene of Ibara Relay in Abeokuta, resident in Ishara. She never imagined that joy would meet her with uncertainty as the news of the triplets reportedly made her husband flee. But in the midst of a struggle, help came away as the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, stepped in.
On the second day of January 2026, what should have been a moment of celebration turned into a test of courage for a young mother, 32-year-old Esther Shoaib, an indigene of Ibara Orile, but resident of Ikperu, who is already a mother of 2 boys, went into labor and was rushed to the General Hospital, Ikperu, in Ikene local government area of Ogun State. And against all odds, she delivered triplets, all boys, weighing 2.4 kg, 1.5 kg, and 1.08 kg respectively. Dr. Olukayode Taiwo, a consultant gynecologist in the medical facility, described the delivery as delicate but successful, noting that the mother and 2 of the babies are medically fit and safe.
Came in at 28 weeks. That was the first time she came to register. So from then we had been monitoring her. So the plan was to deliver around 34 weeks, probably 34 weeks. So when she came in at that 31 weeks plus draining, we knew that we had to section her. Within a few minutes, she started bleeding while we were on the way to theater. Significant bleeding. So we had to hasten up, resuscitate her, and got the babies out. The babies didn't come out too good, but with the effort of the team, we started resuscitation. We were able to bring the whole 3 babies back.
While medical personnel battled to stabilize the newborns, shock followed the announcement of the delivery as the woman's husband reportedly abandoned the family after hearing the news.
I urge the government to support my family with scholarship for the triplets and job for my husband and I.
News of the woman's condition and her sudden abandonment reached the wife of Ogun State's governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, who swung into action by visiting the General Hospital to assess the situation firsthand. Mrs. Abiodun commended the medical team for their professionalism and reassured the mother of government support.
The team that they have here is superb, excellent. I mean, they're very efficient. Otherwise, they would not have been able to save the lives of these three babies. So it's now up to us to let our women know that it is important and it is vital for them to go and receive antenatal care on time, especially now that the federal government has made provision for people to receive this kind of attention on time.
Mrs. Abiodun promised that the state would not turn its back on the family, pledging assistance towards medical care and welfare for the mother and her 5 children. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
More than 3,000 residents of Abeokuta are receiving a new lease of life as free surgical operations and comprehensive medical care reach people living with various ailments through a medical outreach facilitated by Pastor Tunde Bakari under the Pro Health Initiative. The outreach, which brought together surgeons and medical experts from Europe, the Americans and other parts of the world, was hosted at the Palace of the Alake and Paramount Ruler of Egbaland, Obade Dotun Aremu, and forms part of efforts to promote both the spiritual and physical well-being of the people. Matthew Shoumi reports.
Driven by a passion to alleviate human suffering, Pastor Tunde Bakari conceives the outreach as a platform to extend hope and healing to people battling various health challenges. Through strategic partnerships with Pro Health Initiative, medical practitioners from Europe, the Americas, and other parts of the world converge on Abeokuta to provide free surgical procedures, eye care services, oral health care, and treatments for a wide range of ailments. Over the last 3 days, thousands of residents have benefited from the intervention, with many more expected to receive care in the next 2 days. The outreach took place at the Palace of the Alake of Egbaland, while major surgical procedures are conducted at the General Hospital Ijayi. The medical team, led by Apostle Lawrence Achudume, who coordinated the program, pays a courtesy visit to the Alake of Egbaland, commended the monarch for his interest in the well-being of his people, while also acknowledging the support of the Ogun State government.
To help humanity to keep up with the banner of good works that Jesus started. That's why Pastor Tunde Bakari deemed it fit that he should bring in Pro Health Foundation and together with the doctor from across the world to come and give free medical service. As of today, we have done about 67 surgeries, not counting those who are having eye surgeries.
Founder of the Pro Health Initiative, Dr. Iko Ibanga, alongside partner, explains that the program is designed to remove financial barriers and give people access to quality health care at no cost.
At the invitation of Pastor Tunde Bakari, we came to Abeokuta to carry out free surgeries, general gynae and eye surgeries, and to treat about 3,000 patients. We are working in partnership with the state government.
We are very aware of the impact that Pro Health has been making, and also with the influence of Pastor Tunde Bakari, when we heard that he was planning to do a project here in Abeokuta. So we knew it was something that we wanted to be a part of.
In its response, the Alake and Paramount Ruler of Egbaland, Obade Dotun Aremu, describes the outreach as a noble gesture that directly touches the lives of the less privileged.
Health is everything in life. So what they are doing is what we all stand for. And it makes my head to be so big, seeing what is happening here.
The monarch later tours the outreach centers to assess the scale of the operations, as beneficiaries express gratitude for the life-changing medical support. The free surgical operations and medical services continue at the General Hospital Ijayi and the Ake Palace until Friday. Matthew Shoumi, Ogtv News.
And still to come on the news. Rivers Assembly begins impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. More news and report after this break. Glad to know you're still there watching the comprehensive news package for the day. The city of Abeokuta today stood still in remembrance as sons and daughters of Egbaland gathered to honor one of its greatest founding fathers, Lishabi's successor and warrior leader Shudeke, at a symposium marking the 181st anniversary of his demise. Our reporter Olaide Oloye reports that as part of activities lined up for the occasion tagged 181st Shudeke Day was a lecture that described the great warrior as a man with many influence larger than his frame, our reports.
Shodeke, a renowned Egbawa general and visionary leader, played a pivotal role in the resettlement and unification of the Egba people in the early 19th century. Following years of displacement and warfare, Shodeke led the Egbas to the rocky enclave now known as Abeokuta in 1830, where they found a refuge and established a stronghold that later evolved into a major Yoruba city. His leadership laid the foundation for peace, unity, and organized governance among the Egba people until his death in 1845 to commemorate the 181 years since his demise. Notable personalities, scholars, youth, and cultural enthusiasts converged for a symposium that examined the life, leadership style, and enduring legacy of the Egba Euro. The event also marked the 181st Shodeke Day, a platform designed to rekindle historical consciousness and cultural pride among the people. Gracing the occasion was the founder of Citadel Global Community Church, Pastor Tunde Bakari, also a son of the soil, who highlighted Shodeke's courage, strategic intelligence, and commitment to unity, describing him as a symbol of resilience and collective survival.
That was a selfless man. His impact will ever be felt. They've not finished writing history about Shodeke. Shodeke Day will become so renowned in Egba land that nobody will go. We don't want any bush. It's okay to have Igbo Lishabi. We want city of Shodeke. We want our children to be raised in such a way that they will be frontline educationists, frontline scientists, and Shodeke Day will begin to sponsor such people.
Guest speakers also stressed the importance of preserving history and passing down the values of selflessness, bravery, and communal living, which Shodeke embodied.
When Shodeke brought us here, nobody will take us away from here. Like nobody will take us away. So what Shodeke has done shows that this man is in a class of his own. He's greater than anybody when you are talking of advanced. So that's why I was writing that book, the last word of Shodeke, like I said, the father of the new Egba nation. This is a new Egba nation, and Shodeke is the greatest here.
That is we also must know what to say, how to say, and when to say, not to at all.
The 181st members of Shodeke served not only as a reflection on the past, but also a renewal call to uphold the unity and vision upon which Abeokuta was founded. Olaide Oloye, Ogtv News.
Moving away from that story, the Rivers State House of Assembly has begun impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu. During plenary presided over by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martins Amawule, the Majority Leader, Major Jack, read out the notice of allegations and gross misconduct against Fubara. 26 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly signed the notice, which they alleged was against the Nigerian Constitution. Amawale said the notice will be served to Fubara in the next 7 days. The Deputy Majority Leader of the House, Linda Stewart, also read out the notice of allegation and gross misconduct against Odu. Relying on this section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution, Jack reeled out 7 points of alleged gross misconduct against Fubara. Some of the accusations include the demolition of the Assembly complex, extra budgetary spending, withholding funds meant for the Assembly Service Commission, and refusal to obey the Supreme Court on the financial autonomy of the House. The Jigawa state government has dismissed and suspended several school feeding contractors over alleged fraud supply of substandard food items and inflation of student figures and some boarding schools across the state. The action followed complaints from parents and members of the public, as well as unannounced inspections carried out by officials of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Special Duties in schools with Dose local government area. Speaking with journalists, the State Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs and Special Duties, Anwalu Sankara, said the measures were part of efforts to sanitize the state's school feeding program and protect pupils' welfare. Sankara revealed that at the girls' model boarding school, Kadai Metropolitan, the monitoring team discovered a discrepancy of over 30% between reported student numbers and physical head count, with only 681 students found instead of the reported 1,008. According to him, the soup served to students in the school was also found to be unfit for consumption, leading to the suspension of contractors. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has assured residents of the state that those behind the attack and killings of 5 forest guards will face justice. Makinde, who stated this, also condemned the attack and appealed to residents to remain calm as investigations continue to unravel those behind the dastardly act. The governor further noted that preliminary investigations by the security agencies indicated that the incident was a cross-border attack carried out by bandits. He further appealed to residents of Oyo State, especially those in Urire local government area and other local government areas along the border, to remain calm as the security agencies had restored normalcy and deployed more personnel to the area. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wahid Shuaibu, has charged troops to remain professional in the discharge of their duties and to uphold the fundamental human rights enshrined in the United Nations Charter during operations. The Chief of Army Staff gave this charge while addressing frontline troops during his operational visit to 31 Brigade area of responsibility. He commended the troops for their steadfastness, professionalism and diligence in managing the security situation within the brigade's AOR, which falls within Niger State. General Shuaibu assured the troops of improved welfare. He noted that he had been adequately briefed on their challenges, particularly regarding accommodation and other critical facilities aimed at enhancing the well-being of soldiers and their families. The Defense Headquarters has renamed Armed Forces Remembrance Day as Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. This was confirmed in a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, who said the change was to reflect the dual purpose of the occasion, which is to honor serving personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria while also remembering those who lost their lives in the defense of the country. Uba said the annual event is preceded by a week of activities and culminates in a parade and wreath-laying ceremony on January 15. He said January 15 is set aside annually by the federal government of Nigeria to honor the living personnel of the armed forces of Nigeria while acknowledging the sacrifices of those who have paid the supreme price to safeguard the nation's territorial integrity as well as the life and properties of its citizens. He urged media organizations to adopt the new name in all future reports and coverage. Armed Forces Remembrance Day has traditionally been observed on 15 January to commemorate Nigerian soldiers who died in the service to the nation. Meanwhile, activities marking this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Ogun State will be kicked off on Friday, 9th January 2026 with a special Jumat service at the Central Mosque Committee Abeokuta beginning from noon. Similarly, a special church service to mark the celebration will hold on Sunday, 11th January 2026. Venue is the Cathedral of St. Peter, Ake Abeokuta, beginning at 10 a.m. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokumbo Talabi, revealed that the celebrations will be rounded off with a grand finale on Thursday, January 15, 2026, with a special parade and laying of bricks at the Arcade's Grand Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta, at 10 a.m. The statement further urged all invited guests to be seated 30 minutes before the commencement of each program. Acknowledging God through obedience to His word is described as a vital attitude for anyone seeking divine restoration. The submission formed the thrust of the message delivered by the Very Reverend Ezekiel Ilekoya at the 2026 New Year prayer organized by the family of Otumba Shubumi Balogun. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi reports.
The quest to harness the power and efficacy of prayer continues to drive the annual Shubomi Balogun New Year prayer session. The 2026 edition brought together family members, friends, and well-wishers to usher in the new year with heartfelt worship, praises, and thanksgiving to God. While ministering the word of God, the very Reverend Ezekiel Ilekoya speaks on pathways to divine restoration, describing obedience to God's way as a fundamental requirement for spiritual renewal and fulfillment.
I tell you, if you are a child of God, you'll be tried, you'll be tempted, you'll be challenged in any form. You need to get the wisdom to know that this is a challenge. I won't give in. And the essential there is that God wants us to live a purposeful life. God is not looking for a person that is just living his life carelessly.
Speaking on behalf of the Balogun family, Babajide Balogun expresses deep appreciation to the Christian community, royal fathers, invited guests, and the people of Ijebu land for their unwavering support since the passing of their patriarch.
This is Adura Odun, which we, started many years, over probably 20 years ago, during the lifetime of my father. It's a tradition that we continue to do after our dear father's demise. And we thank the Christian community for the continued support in taking the family into the new year.
The prayer session also featured special intercessions for the Balogun family, Ijebu land, Ogun State, and Nigeria, as Christian leaders commit the nation into God's hands for the year ahead. Ayodeji Tomori Olumumi, Ogtv News.
The globally acclaimed gospel juju musician, evangelist Ebenezer Obi Fabiyi, has been installed as the first Asiwaju Onigbagbo of the Bible Society of Nigeria, Egba area. Asiwaju Onigbagbo of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, speaking at the investiture ceremony held at the Ibara residence of evangelist Obi Fabiyi, said the gospel musician, as the man who serves God with his talks, lifestyle, and music, deserves the role which will enable him to do more. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
Round of applause for Jesus. We are igniting the fire of first.
The investiture was a recognition of his contributions to the spread of the gospel and winning souls to the kingdom of God. Former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who is also the Asiwaju Onigbagbo of Ogun State, said evangelist Ebenezer Obi Fabiyi has demonstrated great commitment to the work of God, coupled with his exemplary life, which has qualified him for such title.
The Bible became the instrument that the missionaries used to get us to become believers and children of God by the saving grace of Christ.
Ochile Ofukiona Egba, Oba Adedapo Tejuosho, wife of the former president of Nigeria, Mrs. Bola Obasanjo, Onidogo of Idogo, Oba Said Olubiyi, Agoro of Egbaland, who is also a long-term friend of the new Asiwaju Onigbagbo, expressed their joy for the new title, which marks a recognition of the contributions of evangelist Obi Fabiyi and efforts in lifting others.
This one is well deserved, well organized, and built in town. And I'm happy because for Commander to be able to see all his children doing well, particularly his first son, Bishop Folani. I'm impressed.
Pẹ̀lọ́wọ́ fífi ẹ̀mí bàbá wa sí, bàbá wa jẹ́ bàbá pàtàkì tí wọ́n fún ní the first Aṣíwájú Ẹ̀gbá, Bíbélì Ẹ̀gbá. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí wọ́n pẹ́ fún wa.
Delivering a sermon which centered around seeking the face of God at the investiture, Bishop Femi Ajakaye said one can only find God through fasting and prayers. The new Asiwaju Onigbagbo, Egba area of Bible Society of Nigeria, Evangelist Ebenezer Obi Fabi, was full of appreciation to the entire society and the Egba area for counting him worthy of the honor with an assurance of more dedication to the work of God.
The things of the Lord are always my joy and happiness. Participating in the things of the Lord or the work of God is my primary assignment.
Appreciating the garden on behalf of other children, Bishop Folarin Fabi promised more support of the children to ensure the success of their father in the new role. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
It was an atmosphere of joy, thanksgiving and heartfelt gratitude to Almighty God. His family members, friends, colleagues and well-wishers gathered to celebrate the statutory retirement of Mrs. Abosede Bolande Anojobi after 35 years of meritorious service with the Ogun State Teaching Service Commission. The colorful ceremony held at Lafenwa High School, Abeokuta, attract dignitaries from the education sector, members of the Anojobi family, retired teachers, servant staffs and students of the school. Tony Ogudupe's report is presented in this package.
We are so glad that you landed well. We landed well today.
The event featured special Thanksgiving session, goodwill messages, and impressive cultural display, as well as academic displays by students, all organized in honor of the celebrant, Mrs. Abosede Bolande Anojobi, whose dedication and commitment to teaching have left lasting impressions on many lives. Stakeholders at the event described Mrs. Anojobi as a disciplined, hardworking and motherly figure who contribute immensely to the growth of the school and the moral upbringing of generations of students. Several retired colleagues also take turns to share fond memories, applauding an integrity, professionalism and passion for education, while wishing her a peaceful and fulfilling retirement.
It gladdens my heart for somebody who has transferred the journey 35 years. To welcome her into our fold. While the uncles are sending her away, we are taking her in. And we are saying, she is saying bye-bye to tension, and we are saying welcome to pleasure.
She's a very, very humble woman. She can give her all. She's a giver. And she's very respectful. And God had helped her even to come out victorious. And I pray that even as she's retiring, that God will grant her grace, even to rest in Him.
The management and staff of Lafenwa High School are not left out, as they commend the retiree for being a mentor and role model, urging younger teachers to emulate her virtues of dedication, excellence, and selfless service.
I thank God Almighty for the opportunity given to me to serve the state. And at the same time, I want to promise her that I will sustain the legacy that he has left behind.
Especially when it comes to the areas of teachers there. She talked to everyone. And she shared experiences. As she's retiring today, may God of heaven stay with her.
In her response, Mrs. Abosede Bolande Anojobi expresses profound appreciation to God, her family, colleagues, and students for their love, support, and cooperation she receives throughout her teaching career.
The journey so far, for God on my side, God has been helping me, and I thank God for this day.
The Anojobi family, in their vote of thanks, appreciate God for His faithfulness and thank the Ogun State government, the Teaching Service Commission, as well as guests who honor their wife, mother, and sister on the occasion of her retirement. The event reached a climax with a symbolic cut of the retirement cake, marking the end of the impactful career and the beginning of a new chapter in service to humanity.
We are so glad that you landed well. We landed well today.
The event featured special Thanksgiving session, goodwill messages, and impressive cultural display, as well as academic displays by students, all organized in honor of the celebrant, Mrs. Abosedi Bolanle Onojobi, whose dedication and commitment to teaching have left lasting impressions on many lives. Stakeholders at the event described Mrs. Onojobi as a disciplined, hardworking and motherly figure who contribute immensely to the growth of the school and the moral upbringing of generations of students.
Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Bayomi Aripabu, has visited the Banwo's family to commiserate with them over the death of Otumba Francis Banwo, a former commissioner in the ministry who died on Friday, December 19, 2025. Professor Aripabu, during the visit to the deceased family in Ishara, described him as highly respected personality who had demonstrated emulative qualities in both private and public capacities, especially when he served as Commissioner for Education in the state between year 2005 to 2007. The Commissioner stated that Banwo was a leader whose wealth of knowledge and experience were delights to tap from and would be sorely missed, adding that his contribution to the development of education sector would linger as reference point and legacy. Business News is next when we return.
Hello and welcome to Business News. Nigeria recorded a 12 trillion naira trade surplus in the first half of 2025 as non-oil exports grew by 21% to $12.8 billion, signaling a strong export rebound driven by policy reforms under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. The performance reflects a broader expansion in trade activity, with overall trade value rising by 14%, supported by improved export processes, targeted trade reforms and growing value addition across key non-oil sectors of the economy. The gains were outlined in the Ministry's 2025 review of its activities and priorities for 2026, a document which assessed Nigeria's economic repositioning under the current government. According to the review, the Ministry executed a coordinated reform program in 2025, spanning investment attraction, trade expansion, export diversification, and institutional strengthening, among others, translating the policy direction into measurable economic outcomes through collaboration with government agencies, private sector, and development partners. The federal government Sunday, Wednesday defended the reenactment of the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act, dismissing claims of constitutional breach and fiscal illegality, even as the accountability group budgets insisted that running overlapping national budgets remains a fiscal anomaly and undermines transparency and proper financial management. The Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Tanimu Yakubu, in a statement issued, denied any claims of constitutional breach or fiscal illegality in the reenactment of the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act by the National Assembly. The denial came amid allegations from the Nigerian Civil Society Economy Action, which accused the executive and legislative branches of opacity, lack of transparency, and exclusion of citizens from the budget process. The Civil Society Coalition consists of the Budget, the African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, the Center for Social Justice, the Paradigm Leadership Support Initiative, and Primorg. Togo, Niger and Benin owe Nigeria $17.8 million, an equivalent of over 25 billion naira at the current exchange rate for electricity supplied under bilateral arrangement, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has said. In its third quarter 2025 report, NEC disclosed that 3 international customers were invoiced a total of $18.69 million by the market operator for electricity supply provide during the period, but they remitted only $7.125 million, leaving an outstanding balance of $11.56 million. Similarly, the international bilateral customers had legacy invoices of $14.7 million, out of which they paid $7.84 million, leaving a balance of $6.23 million. Reports that the debt incurred from the previous quarters and that of the third quarter of 2025 amounted to $17.8 million. This is 25.36 billion naira at an exchange rate of 1,425 to a dollar. According to NEC, the three international bilateral customers purchasing power from the grid-connected GENCOs made a cumulative payment of $7.125 million against the $18.69 million invoice issued to them by the market operator for services rendered in the quarter of 2025. It stated that the remittance level represented a 38.09% remittance payment, with more than half of the invoices remaining unpaid at the end of the quarter. And that's it on Business News. Many thanks for watching.
From business news, we now move to the foreign scene, where President Donald Trump has ordered the United States to withdraw from 66 international organizations. Meanwhile, Ghana's former finance minister, who is wanted at home on suspicion of corruption, has been detained by U.S. immigration. Let's join Damilario KG for more details on the foreign scene.
President Donald Trump ordered the United States to